Hi guys, I've got for you today an experimentation. It's an idea I had a little while ago, and I want to see if this is actually going to work. And what it is, I wanted to make some sort of case holder for the ultrasonic cleaner. So this is the basket that normally comes with my ultrasonic, and it's a fairly large basket. Now, the only thing I don't like is I've never liked the actual piling brass on top of brass. Obviously, I think in the instructions it would normally tell you to lay things out in a single layer anyway, so that they're not stacked up on top of each other. Whereas a lot of these small little ultrasonics that some of the gun retailers sort of sell, I just think they're far too small really, and you can only do them in very, very small batches. But most of the time, you know, everybody would just throw these in there and then they'd all sort of stack on top of each other, and you wouldn't really get a lot of movement out of them, plus the fact all the residues kind of sits inside the case, which I've never really liked. So I used to do them in two batches, sort of 50 at a time. But I wanted to try something today. Now, it was an idea that popped into my head of how I could wash the cases but have them stand upside down in the actual basket. So I had a friend of mine knock me up a piece of stainless steel. This is obviously, it's been sort of plasma cut or whatever it is. So this is the main stand for it. But when you're trying to put one of the smaller cases, something like a 223, I've had to put this mesh here in the bottom, because what would happen with the 223 cases, they would literally go through those holes or enough so that they would literally be resting on the bottom of the tank, which you really don't want to do that anyway. So came up with this idea. Now, it is a bit of a prototype. I want to see what happens when I come to use it. So what I did a little while ago, before I had this, I stood these cases in the bottom of the actual basket itself, and you'll find that with that, because the 6.5 cases are big enough to support themselves on the on there, they would not actually hit the bottom of the tank, but they would sometimes kind of fall away from each other and stuff. So it wasn't the best idea to hold them, but I washed them and I found that having all the residue being shaken out and fall to the bottom, I thought it resulted in a lot more cleaner cases. So I want to see now if this is going to be an improvement of that. And so basically you just sort of stand your case in, and then this should also be good for when you're putting a 223 case in. It won't fall down through the bottom there. In fact, let me just grab one and I can show you. So here's a 223 case. Now obviously the hole is going to be plenty big enough, but they should sort of stand once you've got them all in there, when you're ready to clean them. So let's give it a go. I mean, you can see that these, hopefully the camera, I'll just pick that up, you can sort of see that they're all sooted up. Let me just grab a couple. These are just been deprimed, so whether picking that up, I'm not sure, but anyway, like I said, these are all dirty cases. So I'm going to load the tray up, and then get the solution in, and I'll do a clean, and then we'll inspect the cases after. Now, The only other thing that, you know, would have been nice, there's 80 holes cut in this. Yes, I would have liked to have had 100, but the way we've just done this first one, it just means that I can only do sort of 80 actually within the holes itself. Now whether I can sort of stand a few here and then try and get the full 100, but I mean, it's no big deal. If I've got to run the machine again, it's only like another 15 or 20 minutes to run it again. But what I'm more bothered about is I want to see how clean the cases come out, instead of me stacking them on top of each other. But we'll see. So just give me 1 second and I'll get this filled up, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I've got the basket filled up with the 80 cases. Like I said, I kind of wish now that I could have extended this just out a little bit more. Could have got like another what we've got here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 no, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16. So I could have got at least another 16 on there, but I thought because of the way this was shaped, and it might make it difficult to have actually bent that sort of stainless steel into that, I just, you know, we just went with the original sort of like plan. So anyway, so all the cases, like I say, they've all got kind of movement still, and the holes have been cut just enough to give a couple of a few thousandths, well, a good few thousandths actually of space for these 6.5 cases. So, but let's just see what happens. And like I said, I am not doing this so that I'm recommending everybody get rid of their own sonic cleaners, or I mean, if some people like using the stainless steel pins. It's just that doesn't really interest me, the stainless steel pins. It just doesn't appeal to me at all. I do quite like the ultrasonic. I've been using this now for quite a few years, but I just wanted to sort of see if I could make this process just a little bit better with this idea. So let's get these things into the solution, get them washed, and let's just see what the results look like. Okay, back in a second. Okay, so here I have my solution. I have a solution called C Clean. It's just a ultrasonic cleaner which you dilute with water. The water I've used here isn't tap water, it's actually deionized water, which they actually do recommend deionized water for sonic cleaning anyway, because it has far less impurities and stuff. But I used to use normal tap water, but I don't know, I'm just trying the ultrasonic recommendations, so I'm using ionized water, and also a good slug of only 5% white vinegar, so it's quite a mild vinegar, but not too strong. So I might have to make a little bit more up just to cover the cases, which I will have there. So I'm just going to make a little bit more up just so that I can come up over those cases, so just bear with me. Okay, so we've got the cases covered up, and I'm going to actually set the temperature on this for about 50 degrees, 20 minutes, and we'll see what the cases look like after 20 minutes. Okay, so I'll catch you guys in a second, well actually in 20 minutes, when this is I'll spare you the sound that it makes, because it's not the nicest of sounds. So see you guys in 20 minutes. Okay, so the time has elapsed. Let's take a look at these cases. See if we can get a close up of these. I mean, hopefully you could see how kind of dirty they were. Before, and just blow out the suds on this one. Quite difficult to do this on camera, but you can sort of see how nice and clean that just about seen there, I think. It's quite a bit of sudsy on it. Let's have a look. I mean, from what I can see, I can see the case down at the bottom there. It's nice and clean. I think it's done its job. I mean, they look good to me. And I mean, I'll probably carry on with this because I do quite like the fact that all the crap, let me just pull out a little bit, you can sort of see the colour of the water and stuff, and I mean, most of all that kind of residue and stuff all falls down to the bottom, so I don't have to have it all sitting there inside the cases, like when they're on their side and everything. So I mean, for me, yeah, I quite like it, you know. I'm just going to sort of shake these out and then put them in there and get the next set in, and see what that other 20 minutes does for the other ones as well. So so bear with me, I'll just get that other one going, and then we'll have a good final look. Okay, so all the brass has now been washed, and so hopefully you can sort of see there. I mean, you know, it's nice and shiny and clean on the outside, but the outside is not our biggest concern. It's how much carbon has been removed from the inside of these cases. Okay, and let me just move the camera back here. Let me just take a couple of cases and see if I can get some light into these cases. Alright, I'll try and do my best to try and give you a more visual. Does that show on camera? It's difficult for me to see because I'm looking at a 3-inch sort of screen, so obviously when you sort of see this in a bigger screen, you'll notice that hold on, let me just move this. Right, this is difficult. Right, can you just see that one there on the left? I think you can just about sort of see that to the back there, right to the bottom. Hopefully that shows how clean that actually is. Let's try this one. Wow. There we go. Does that show? I mean, these are nice and clean, these cases. I'd say, you know, yeah, okay, fine. You might look at the flash hole, and you might. Let's see if I can get this to focus. And you might sort of see the odd little tiny bit of fouling, but I think for, you know, I'd say 98% it's clean. And if you're really kind of anal that you want to take all that out as well, you could even go there with a little pocket brush or something like that, you know, the little metal ones, and you can even, I suppose, do that before you put it actually into the sonic cleaner if you want to give them a helping hand on that anyway. I didn't. I just want to sort of see just how much carbon was going to be removed with me doing nothing to the actual brass. So I didn't help the primer pockets at all. I just left, you know, put them in as is. So anyway, guys, this was just a video to show my process of using a sonic cleaner. I've been using one now for, like I said, a good few years, and I've always tried like kind of different things and thought of maybe different ways of it could get better. But I find using this method with the solution I use, which was I think it's called C Clean. I use the deionized water, and then the sort of 5% mild vinegar, white vinegar, and for me they come up nice. Now I know everyone's got their own different ways of using their own cleaning solutions, like Lemmy Shine and all these other weird and wonderful ones, and you can use whatever you want as long as you get the results that you want. For me, the biggest thing was that I wanted to be able to hold the cases in this basket without actually piling them on top of each other. Now for me it does actually work great. Yes, I would have liked to have had maybe another row put in there, and try and squeeze in close to the to the 100 cases as I could, but this particular, we'll call it a prototype, didn't actually get in the full 100, so you got 80 cases there, and I had to run the machine again for like 20 minutes. No big deal, but they came out just as clean as the first one. So I don't really want to be sort of I mean, I could probably try and get away with that, but there's nothing to really hold the cases up, and they're just going to end up on their side, which is exactly what they were doing before. So but anyway, just a quick one. Just wanted to sort of show you this little upgrade to my sonic basket. Like I said, there's two there. There's the actual case holder itself, and then a mesh just to stop smaller cases literally going through these sort of like bigger sort of squares here. So okay guys, I know it's not a super structural video or anything, but it was just an idea that I had, but for me, for the most part, it does actually work, and I can use the cases better now when cleaning. So alright guys, catch you on the next one. Bye.